Mohamed Salah has 20 GA already this season. It's November the 11th. 20 GA. 10 goals and 10 assists. This guy is absolutely world class. World class is the only definition to describe Mohamed Salah. Virgil van Dijk, by the way, as well. Him and Konate this season for Liverpool have been insane. Absolutely ridiculous. Genuinely. We need to speak about this Liverpool side. Do they have what it takes to win the Premier League and the Champions League? I think at this moment in time, the way Arsenal are playing, the way Manchester City are playing, Liverpool are Premier League favourites. Now, you can say to me, Henry, it's only, 11 or 12 games into the season, whatever we may be, 11 games we are in. However, Liverpool have been near on perfect so far this season. They're top of the Premier League. They're top of the Champions League. They're in a League Cup quarter-final. They are absolutely firing on all cylinders. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel. The road to 50,000 subscribers is well and truly on. Around 90% of everyone who's watched the content in the last 7 days is not subscribed. So if you're a Liverpool fan, Chelsea, United, City, Arsenal, whoever you support, make sure you get in, lock in, and subscribe to the channel. Channel membership will be out very, very, very soon. This Liverpool side, I want to break down the numbers to you guys because I don't think people really understand how good this Liverpool side really is, and especially Mohamed Salah, right? As you can see, Liverpool are top of the Premier League. The second best defense in the Premier League this season has been, I believe, Nottingham Forest. It is Nottingham Forest. They have conceded 4 less goals than Nottingham Forest. The only side in the league that has got more goals than Liverpool is Manchester City and Spurs. Man City and Spurs and Brentford. But look at the goal difference they've got. The second highest goal difference in the league is Spurs on 10. They've got 5 better. The third best goal difference in the league is Man City. They've got 6 better. They are 5 points clear already of Manchester City. And the next title favourites was Arsenal. They are 9 points clear. 9 points clear. Now, what's the key to this success? Well, it's Jurgen Klopp's squad. Arne Slot has signed no players that have made an impact this season. He did sign Federico Chiesa, but has barely featured or played barely any Premier League minutes. They've lost Alisson in a big injury. He brings in Kelleher, who has been an unbelievable replacement. And I made a video about this about 4 weeks ago. And everyone laughed at me. Everyone said, oh, Henry doesn't know ball, etc., etc., etc. I said, Liverpool will be absolutely fine because the replacement is there for the injury. And this Liverpool side now, it's honestly a joke. It's honestly a flipping joke how good they are defensively. The midfield pairing of McAllister and Gravenberch. Gravenberch has been the best midfielder in the Premier League this season. I want to talk about the 2 players, Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah. And I want to start with Mohamed Salah because we are talking about now a Premier League great. 8 goals and 6 assists in 11 games in the Premier League. 1 goal and 5 assists this season in the Champions League. 1 goal in 2 games in the League Cup. We are talking about one of the best Premier League players you will ever see. Look at these attacking stats this season. Just look at these attacking stats in terms of touches in the penalty area, goals, assists, expected goals, non-penalty goals. Just look at them. Top 9% for non-penalty goals. Top 1% for non-penalty XG, total shots, assists. Top 2% for expected goals. Top 1% for non-penalty goals. And that's against wingers and midfielders. Top 1% for touches in the attacking penalty area. Top 6% for progressive passes received. At this moment in time, the best player in the league. I was bigging up Cole Palmer, but it's hard to ignore Mohamed Salah. The numbers are absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We're talking about a guy that has got, in his Premier League career now, if we look at all competitions, the guy has got 165 goals in 274 games in the Premier League with 75 assists. So around 240 goal contributions in 270 games. He's won the Golden Boot 3 times. He's won the Player of the Season 1 time. He's won Goal of the Month twice. He's won a league title in 1920. He's won Player of the Month about 6 times. And the guy is not slowing down. He's 32 years of age. Virgil van Dijk's exactly the same. Him and Konate, the best centre-back pairing in Europe right now. I don't care about Bastoni and De Vrij. I don't care about Saliba and Gabriel. I do not care about Diaz and Stones. This centre-back partnership right now is absolutely ridiculous. They've conceded 1 goal in 4 games in the Champions League. Right? They've conceded 6 goals in 11 games in the Premier League. Their next championship game they've got coming up is Real Madrid. Mark my words, Liverpool will beat Real Madrid. Mark my words. Their next Premier League home game is against Manchester City. Mark my words, Liverpool will beat City. Look at their Champions League record. Plus 9 goal difference already. Played 4, scored 10, conceded just 1. The only team in the Champions League with a 100% record. And if they beat Real Madrid, they have practically qualified for the next round. We're talking about a side that hasn't brought in any players. It's the same squad that finished 3rd last season. Arsenal have brought through Calafiori and Mikel Merino, right? Manchester City have brought back Gundogan and signed a youngster from Argentina who will come in January. They've brought in Savinho. Chelsea have brought through Felix. They've brought back Felix. They've brought in Neto, right? They've brought in Tosin Adarabioyo. They've got a fully fit Nkunku. Man United have brought in 5 or 6 players. This Liverpool side haven't signed anyone. I'm not counting Federico Chiesa right now because he's barely played a minute. And they brought through Georgi Mamadashvili, who will be the probably backup goalkeeper next season. I do expect Kelleher to leave Liverpool next season. He is so good. So good. Comes in, clean sheets against Leverkusen. Clean sheets against Aston Villa. The guy is a monster in goal. Liverpool's recent results. He got injured against Crystal Palace, Alisson. Since then, they've beaten Chelsea, Leipzig, drew with Arsenal, beat Brighton in the Cup, Brighton in the league, Leverkusen in the league, and Liverpool in the league. Liverpool have not lost a game since the 14th of September and have lost 1 game in all competitions since the 17th of August. It's honestly mind-blowing. It really is. This season in the league, they've had clean sheets against Ipswich, Brentford, Man United, Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, and Aston Villa. Clean sheets in all competitions as well against Leverkusen, Leipzig, and Bologna. They're absolutely ridiculous. We need to start giving Arne Slot huge praise. We're talking about a guy that barely knows the Premier League, has been here a few months, and right now he's absolutely flying. I'll be honest, I want to look at Manchester City's upcoming games. I'm genuinely not taking the mick right now. I'm generally trying to be as objective and open and honest on this channel as I possibly can. Manchester City's next 2 Premier League games are Tottenham and Liverpool. I do think Liverpool will beat Manchester City. However, Tottenham are a bogey side for Man City. it will be typical Spurs for us to beat Man City and at the weekend lose to Ipswich. We lost to Crystal Palace and then beat City in the Cup and then beat Villa. Then they play Liverpool. If they lose to Manchester City, if Manchester City lose to Tottenham and Liverpool beat Southampton and City, the title race is done for me. It's done. It's over. Because by that point, Liverpool will be 11 points clear of Manchester City if that happens. And if Arsenal, their next game is Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest are a very good organised side right now. I know they lost to Newcastle yesterday, but they are doing really well. If Nottingham Forest get a draw and Liverpool beat Southampton, they're 11 points clear of Arsenal. And they would be 8 points clear of City if City lose or draw to Spurs. They've also got Forest coming up as well, City. This is a side that have lost 4 games on the bounce. They're not keeping clean sheets. They're conceding a lot of goals. They've conceded 2 against Brighton, 2 against Bournemouth, 2 against Spurs. They only beat Southampton 1-0 and they got dismantled by Sporting Lisbon. This is a side right now, Liverpool, that have everything going for them. The defensive record. The midfield duo of Ryan Gravenberch and McAllister is the best in the league. The best in the Premier League right now. Their attack. It doesn't matter if it's Darwin Núñez, Jota, Diaz, Salah, Gakpo. They're the only team in the Premier League right now that have got 5 forwards that are genuinely performing for their football club. Martinelli and Trossard aren't performing. Right, City, Savinho hasn't got a Premier League goal yet to my knowledge. Doku hasn't scored this season. Grealish hasn't scored this season. It's only Erling Haaland. And I look at the Liverpool games coming up. I look at Real Madrid and City, and I think Liverpool genuinely win both. I think they will win both. I predicted a 2-1 win for Brighton on the terrace, and I was absolutely spot on. I look at Liverpool's next 7 games. I don't know where they lose. Now, naturally, you would expect Liverpool to drop points somewhere. I think they beat Southampton, right? I then think they beat Real Madrid. I then think they beat City. And they definitely beat Everton and Fulham in that run. Newcastle away can be a tricky place to go. They've drawn with City there. They've beaten Arsenal. They've beaten Spurs. That's a tough place to go. Liverpool could get a draw there. And probably get a draw away to Girona, because by then they would have already been qualified for the Champions League if they beat Real Madrid. We're talking about a Liverpool side that could be beating Madrid and City in the next 3 games. Look at their run. Everyone said Liverpool would struggle with the run of games. They've beaten Chelsea. They've beaten Leipzig. They've beaten Brighton home and away in the Cup and the League. They've beaten Leverkusen and Villa. Where's the narrative now? Everyone said Liverpool would be tested during these games. They've gone out and destroyed everyone. So are we really going to start giving Liverpool the props they deserve? Their fan base right now must be on cloud 9. On cloud 9. Because they are one hell of a football inside. Both defensively and offensively. The best team right now in Europe. Everyone was talking about Barcelona last night. Everyone was saying, to me on TikTok, saying Barcelona are the best team in the league, Henry. You're talking absolute waffle. What happened to Barcelona last night? They lost 1-0 to Real Sociedad. They've opened up the league title race back for Real Madrid. If Real Madrid win their next game, which I believe is Lian's on Sunday the 24th, there'll only be a 3-point gap in it. So, yeah, I think Liverpool by far are the best team in the league this season. They're the best team in Europe this season. And I think we genuinely not need to start giving huge props and praise to the character in this Liverpool side. The performance levels in this Liverpool side is up something we haven't seen since that 1920 season. And I genuinely believe if they beat City and if Arsenal lose to Forest, that if they beat City, they're 8 points clear. If Tottenham beat City, they're 11 points clear. If they're 11 points clear over Manchester City, I personally believe the Premier League title race is wrapped up. You cannot tell me after game week 13 they would be 11 points clear. 11 points clear. That is, and we're talking about a side right now that are also in the League Cup quarter final, and they've got a favourable tie against Southampton, who, by the way, are 19th? They're bottom of the league. So you'd expect Liverpool to go out there and absolutely tear them to shreds. When you look at the League Cup as well, they've got a very favourable draw. If they beat Southampton, Man United, of course, play against Spurs. You would fancy that to be a very interesting game. I don't know which Tottenham side's going to turn up. If it's the one that beats Man City, I think we beat Man United. If it's the one that plays against Ipswich, I think United beat us. You look at the time for the next round, Arsenal have got Crystal Palace. Liverpool have got a relatively comfortable tie, and I do think Liverpool will be favourites for the League Cup right now. You know, Arsenal have got Crystal Palace. You'd expect Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool all to go through. The Tottenham Man United game, who knows? It just depends on who turns up on the day. Now, if Liverpool get a favourable draw and end up getting, let's say, Newcastle at Anfield, then all of a sudden, Liverpool will be in the final. I think Liverpool, it doesn't matter, out of any of those 6 teams they could possibly face, if it's at Anfield, they are beating you. They are beating you. Let me know your thoughts down below. Mohamed Salah, 20 GA already this season. Van Dijk and Konate, the defense of absolute dreams right now. Make sure you go down, drop a like if you haven't already. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel. The road to 50,000 is well and truly on. And I will see you all in the next one. Thank you all for watching. I am out.